Welcome back to Fievel's Mana Short. Today we're going to go ahead and take a look at another box of War of the Spark. This box is going to actually go ahead and be for my Patreons for December, it looks like. I love War of the Spark. I will say this over and over again. War of the Spark has been one of my favorite sets that has come out. And it was the set that actually drew me back into playing Magic the Gathering after years of being away. So let's go ahead and just bust it open and see what we got going. In the last box we did manage to get one of each of the gods, god of each color specifically. So I'm kind of hoping we can repeat that process, see what ends up coming out of here. I know if you go ahead and look at last month's video, I notated that the one patron that I currently had, what card went out to them, though I do not name them specifically because they've asked me not to. Wasn't a dinky little card. As long as I don't have enough patrons to really fill up all of the slots, I'm simply going to randomly select for them from between the rares and the mythics for the best one of the lot. And that includes some of the foil stuff. So without further ado, let's go ahead and look at this. Let's see what we got. Alright. Bullets, invade the city, Sublime Artificer, and starting out with the Boar God. Alright. I'm going to try going down in layers this time instead of by rows. Let's see what we can pull out of that. Let's pull those forward. And these packs sometimes feel like they're just made to be brittle and explode everywhere. I mean, it's not really worth going into the cards with you guys at this point too much, since every one of you at this point really knows the set. There we go. There is a Vivian. You know what to expect. You know what the cards do at this point. It's really just kind of seeing what the special stuff that can come out of here is. Or if you are new to it or you're trying to get to know the set because you didn't play when it came out, it's kind of good seeing what comes out of a box, to a degree, I guess. I don't guess. I am actually pretty sure that it is good always to see what comes out of a box. It's really fun opening packs. There's Arlen, and man, is he fun when you can get him pumped up just a little bit. Attacks, gets stronger, makes a bunch of goblins. Yeah. He does not have to go in his own pile. I just got excited. This was a great set to draft against everybody. There's Nahiri and Deliver Unto Evil. I don't know how many of you did draft it or had a chance to, but it was a little bit of a slower game overall. The cards didn't come out packing a wall up necessarily in the first 3 rounds, so it kind of gave everybody a chance to build a foundation each game and actually battle it out with cards, and made it really fun. Ooh, Nissa. Alright, got Vivian and Nissa. And I know a lot of people play drafts and they play this because they want to win in the first 5 rounds and stuff like that. I love the game. I love the game. I love it when it gets complicated, when people are really on the edge of their seat, and each turn, one lucky draw could turn the whole thing around and win the game, or lose it. I mean, one too many manas pulled could just keep you from being able to keep pace. Which, I mean, that's always true, granted, but more true in kind of a high power, high stakes set. And as we have learned over and over again, Magic is willingly admitting that they have purposefully been increasing the power level of the set, starting with the guilds and alliances, alliances. And ignite the beacon. No foils so far. One mythic, we gotta get the boar. I don't know if the boar is seeing much action since this went away. I don't know if it's hitting Pioneer pretty well or if people have just kind of forgotten about it in general. I always found it a little weird that they had God, God, God on the top of it, and then all of a sudden there's just this random razor boar. That's the boar god down below. It kind of offset the whole god set. It doesn't match up with the way the other ones are all laid out. And it just throws me off. It's not that it's bad or anything like that. It's just a little, whew, okay, that happened. We got Chandra. Well, actually looking at a decent set of planeswalkers so far. This Exile the top card is a staple for me when I'm trying to play a burn deck on Arena. Especially when they're doing the, play till you're done, no real losing, get a prize for each win that you make. I seem to have better luck just kind of playing a burn deck through that to get the prizes, and then playing around if I have more time with some of the other cards. Big surprise, right? Vivian's Arcbow and Foil Invading Manticore. We're all excited for that one, aren't we? Another letdown. Fun card, but kind of a letdown for foil. Ooh. Well, we know what all three of those are, and that we're not getting a Planeswalker rare. Instead, we are getting a Dead Horde Invasion. Well, so far there is a good selection of things. Not looking like we're going to be able to complete a set of gods out of this box. Could prove me wrong. We're not quite halfway through yet, but we are quite a ways to only have one so far. And there's Tameo, and I spoke very too soon with not proper English now. There we go. We got a foil lily. Pardon me for a second. There are some things that I do believe in making sure are sleeved rather quickly, and I think foil lily gets to fall under that list of things that should be sleeved. There is a random feather floating around now. Here we go. Death Horde General Foil. The only thing that would make that better is if this was a box of Japanese and that was the alt art of Lily. Only thing that would make it better. But it's not, so we got what we got. And I am not complaining on that mythic pull. Okay. So no clue what I was just talking about before Lily graced us with her presence. Commanding her death hordes, getting ready to betray Nicol Bolas herself right before Gideon sacrifices himself. And along comes Karn. There we go. I believe he is still up in the ranks value-wise. Around the $10 mark last time I checked, I do believe. Okay, overall, this has actually been a really nice Planeswalker box, even not counting the Lily. The rare Planeswalkers coming out of here seems to be at a good rate. There's a Raptor, a Rally of Wings. I want to see more of him. Zhang Yinggu. I'm going to butcher the way that is pronounced and look it up later. we're going to time wipe that whole incident. How about that? It just all goes away. I pronounced it correctly. Zhang is a planeswalker who definitely has an interesting story going and hasn't been given a lot of time to develop it. I think it would be fun to give him kind of his own focus set, see what comes of him, and his puppy. Yeah. Triple Rager. Well, we know that we have Jaya. There we go. And Apex Hybrid for Mythic. I am stuttering on my words. I am still looking at the shiny lily. Through all of my drafting and everything, I don't think I saw a foil lily come out. I saw lots of lilies. I saw lots of Mythic planeswalkers. But the foiled lily, I don't think I ever saw come out. And Tybalt's Rager is trying to run away. Death Sprout, the Guard, Summit, and Role Reversal. Okay. That is a fun card to play on people. It doesn't get put into decks very often because blue-red is not a very common draft color. However, being able to exchange cards with your opponent when they're least expecting it can be a little bit fun. Especially when you're trading the same permanent types and then you manage to trigger the permanent swap for like 2 planeswalkers and then, well, basically take out the weaker planeswalker during the swap using the new planeswalker that you got. It makes people a little angry. I'm just going to leave it at that, and there we go. We got Sorin and Relentless Advance for the foil. Huh. So we're basically missing a Gideon? I mean, if I pulled a foiled Chandra right now, I would not be complaining, even though I already got her regular. We got Enter the God Eternals. Does anybody know why I put these here? I don't. Just for looks, I guess. Being distracted. It happens. Alright, so one of my Patreons has a chance to get something really nice. Now, just think about that. If I had my whole Patreon list filled up, it would guarantee somebody would end up at the end of the opening having Liliana in the foil mailed to them. So if you want to take a second, take a look at the options, support me on my video openings, because that's all I'm really looking to do. I'm looking to be able to afford to do this long term, opening these boxes for myself, for my YouTube subscribers, how many ever there may be, for my patrons, and give them some good stuff. Share with them the box itself as they support me in being able to make these videos over a longer period of time. Well, skip that weird. There's Neb and Kea in the foil. She's just going to go over there. If you're interested in being one of my patrons, of course the link is down below like always. If you're not quite sure, but you want to keep an eye out for some of my more videos, you can always subscribe. Watch for those cues. At this point, I am at least 2 boxes a month. I would love to be able to do weekly or even bi-weekly. Not bi-weekly. Going the other direction, so twice a week. Box openings with you. Have a lot of fun doing it. Get to see a bunch of cards come out. The fun polls that nobody ever is around to see usually. Because that's how it always works out. The best stuff you pull is when you're home alone. Or you're drafting and you pull it and everybody else is distracted and you can't really share it with anybody because you're like, oh, look at this pull I can't tell you about. At least the groups that I tend to draft with tend to keep that mindset. Don't talk about what you pulled out of the pack so that nobody knows what's going on. There's a zombie in the back. Everybody knows it. Okay, well, we know who our Planeswalker is. There's always that one card that wants to run away. Got Kaya and Feather the Redeemed. That was a great card until everything took it out. I'm actually a little bit surprised I don't see this run as a card in more decks, that cycling cards back into your hand, spells, sorceries, and stuff as they go. Instant or sorcery spell targets a creature you control. Exile the card instead of putting it into the graveyard. As it resolves, if you do, return it to your hand at the beginning of your next end step. You combine that with a card that gives your creature +1/+1 every other turn, or every turn. It becomes a kind of awesome game. Oh, Nev Mizzet Reborn. No complaints there, and a shiny swamp. Okay, so we have, so far, 3 mythics, 1 foiled mythic, and a lot of rares. This is some pretty awesome rare collection of Planeswalkers, actually. So basically I'm going to call this the box of walkers. Waka Waka. And Soul Diver. Diviner. I promise I can pronounce some of these things. There's some of these packs that I start opening them and it feels like I'm going to bend the cards in half before it actually starts tearing open. Okay, I've seen a few Dovins, and there's the Spark Double. Allowing you to have 2 legendary cards on the field simultaneously. One of them stronger than the other one. And of course, if anything copies the Spark Double, it copies what the Spark Double is copied and still doesn't gain the legendary. Because Spark Double removes the legendary. It doesn't ignore it, it removes it. Alright, Nico Bolas. I wasn't thinking about him when I was saying the ones we were missing, but apparently he wanted to make his face known. I really don't think there's many Planeswalkers we are missing at this point. Gideon is definitely on that list of missing Planeswalkers. Not sure if any of the other ones really are. I haven't been paying that close attention to the uncommon ones, of course. Because I wasn't expecting it to be a Planeswalker box. Were you? No, Teo. I don't think we've had Teo yet, so that comes up. And we've commenced the endgame. Electromancer is trying to attack Liliana. Alright. Neoform, Devouring the Wanderer, and Solar Blaze. Okay, what else can we pull out of here? It's really fun sometimes when you're opening these boxes and you start realizing that a box feels like it ends up having a theme. Like the Lacus box, like I said, I got one of each of the gods out of that box. But the Planeswalkers were just kind of, yeah, they were there. Friend to the Wolves. But it wasn't a big Planeswalker box. I didn't get all the big name Planeswalkers. It wasn't heavy on the rare Planeswalkers at all. But it had all the gods in it. So you end up with these boxes that feel like maybe somebody themed him out. Oh, there's Jace. I wasn't thinking about Jace. Why? So I ask, why wasn't I thinking about Jace? But since he is wielder of mysteries and the mind eraser, maybe he just made himself forgettable. Or maybe I'm excited that I got a foil Liliana. Okay. Still looking for that Gideon. Probably the one Planeswalker I'm not going to get at this point because it's the one that I have been mentioning since the beginning. But we are going to repeat our opening rare. Was that our opening or close to? Oh, third rare. Okay. And we got a makeshift battalion as a foil. Look, if you want to repeat anything, you can repeat that Lily. If I can open 2 Lilies out of 1 box, I think it'll be some sort of record. And down. Alright, now that I've exposed the rare, it is going to be Teferi. And oh, and a foil Nissa. Like I was just saying, sometimes these boxes feel like they're themed on something. In this case, I'm feeling a strong lean towards the Planeswalkers. Almost feels like somebody may have summoned the Gatewatch. Yeah, that was bad. I'm sorry. I'm really good at bad pun. Not even pun, just bad jokes. I mean, I could be a great dad joke dad. I would get so many rolling eyes from kids. It would be wonderful. Okay. Oh. Well, I just jumped right into that. Sarkhan. We are definitely closing the gap here. Last pack. This is our last chance to get that Gideon that I have been preaching about, well, commenting about this entire time over and over again. Oh, this would be a wonderful box to mail out. You should totally become one of my patrons. And we can see the stone, which means casualties of war for our closing out rare. And that is that. But what did we end up with overall? I mean, okay. Those for our mythics. I'm sorry, I'm gonna put out our mythic planeswalkers. There's our rare planeswalkers. Probably gonna totally pass one up doing this. There's the Sorin, Karn, Tamio, Chandra, Nessa, and Vivian, along with a shiny Nessa to boot. So, not bad. Not bad at all. I'm not going to make you watch me sort through all of the uncommon cards to see what the set of actual planeswalkers we ended up with. But you saw it here. I mean, that is quite the Super Friends pull out of a single box of War of the Spark. Thank you for watching Fievel's Mana Short. I will be sending out one of these great rares. I think I'm going to boil it down to the rare planeswalkers, or one of the mythics in general, as far as what I am sending out to one of my patrons, and let them get a random pick from among those. I'll put in the video which one got picked out at that point, and sent to my current patron. if I get more patrons by the time that this is displayed, since I am pre-recording this, due to a shoulder surgery that I am going to be getting, I won't be able to actually do my December Patreon poll. So I pre-recorded this. If I have more than one Patreon before that date, more than the one I currently have, I will put out more of these. If somehow I have a lot, I will add in the rares and then the uncommons and then the commons as I fill up for patrons. If you'd like to be a patron for future box openings, go ahead, take a look down there. The first month you're charged is the first month that I go ahead and include you as part of everything. I don't have it set up to automatically take the money out the first, the day that you sign up. So you don't have to worry about that. Anyway, thank you for watching Five Mana Short. Have a great day.